Okay, well, it's recording.
Okay, well, I mean, who has to do this? I mean, I applaud you.
Oh, my word.
Life is a joke. What a joke. Did I tell you that Oliver got in Marshall's mother's ashes?
Okay, no, I saw the post on Facebook, though.
Ashley, can you see my
You
tracks?
can see your tracks. Like from the back, really bad.
What? What do you mean from? Well, nobody's gonna look at my head in the back. Hannah, if you're watching, we got my appointment coming up.
You need to fix her up because.
Look, my white hair's showing.
Hey friends, welcome back to We Should Do This More Often, the podcast where unbelievable stories, unfiltered faith, and uncensored fun collide. I am Ashley.
And I'm Andrea. And this week, buckle up, because we didn't plan this episode, but God clearly did. So we are going to do an impromptu podcast of just real life, because Ashley and I have spent quite a bit of time on the phone getting right with God this week. We have just both had such a trivial, just hard week. So we're just going to be real with y'all, because it's not all peaches. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. So just to get real today.
Right, we are keeping it real today. Just taking you through the week that we have had. The messy, the funny, the stuff that we're probably still processing. Because sometimes the most powerful conversations start with, can I just tell you what happened this week?
Yeah. So let's start with something grounding. Okay. So, what was a God moment for you this week, Ashley? Like one of those unexpected reminders that He is in it, even through the chaos.
We've had a lot going on this week. One of the things that went on is one of our cars started throwing a light, a check emissions light. And the last time that happened to us, it was the catalytic converter in a truck that we used to have. And so automatically, and once y'all hear the rest of the week that I have had, you all will understand, I automatically went into panic mode because I was like, we can't afford a new car right now. Nope, it's not in the budget. But thank goodness Jason kept it real calm, cool, and collected. He went and had it looked at. It was a $22 fix. Praise the Lord. But it just goes to show you, I mean, we can panic all we want to, but God will show up and God provides and He takes care of what we need and He knows what we can handle and what we can't.
For me this week, Ashley, I have had flight issues this week. So my work had us all out to Phoenix, Arizona for our retreat. We have a yearly retreat. Sometimes it's in person, sometimes it's virtual. And I was so excited because we all feel like it's like this big family reunion. And so I was so excited. Had my ticket. We have a certain platform we use to schedule the flights and stuff. And y'all, I got up the morning of my flight at 2 a.m. and there was a text, and I had to be at the airport at 4 a.m. And I was all dressed just like this, so it took some effort. And I got a thing saying that the flight had been delayed, and it was going to be like that afternoon. Well, we had to be there at a certain time for our retreat reception. And that time was not going to allow me to get there. And I can't stand being late. So I immediately deleted that flight and tried finding another one. Well, because of the time and the fact that my manager was also, I found out later that there's no manager attached to me, couldn't approve it. It just kept continually canceling the flight. And so I eventually found one, but I mean, it was like 3 hours from like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. of me in just stress, panic mode. At one point, I thought I was having a heart attack, Ashley. Like there was like so much weight, it felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest, and I couldn't quit crying. And I immediately defaulted to the worst. I'm just gonna have to quit. That's what I thought. That's where I went. I'm not going to be able to be there on time, so I'm just going to have to quit my job. Well, school hasn't started. I'll just find a teaching job somewhere. I mean, that's literally where my default mode went. And so I stopped, and it was 4:42. I stopped. I was ready. I was already ready, and I just got on my knees and I prayed. I just got on my knees and I was like, "Hey, I need you to take control of this. This is out of my control. You know, God, I love to be in control. I'm clearly not. And I just need to find a flight and I need it to get approved." Well, I had some flight credits saved from where I had previously like had to cancel a flight. And so because of that, I got on. I felt more peace come over my body. I got on and I typed it in and I found a flight that happened to be covered by my flight dollars or whatever. So I had a flight. Later, when I was supposed to come home, it turns out all my flights had been canceled then too. And I found out at 10 p.m. at night when all my managers were asleep. So I got on the call with our, travel agent platform we use and sat on hold for 2 hours. It was just, again, it was a mess. It was stressful. I hit my knees again. I prayed. I realized that my company's platform was not going to allow me to get a flight. So I just dusted my credit card off and just got my own flight. And I was like, I'll just worry about it later. Because again, it was something that was completely out of my control, happening at a time when people are not awake. And it was just God teaching me a lesson that, sometimes I just have to let things go and let Him just do the work for me because it was out of my control.
Part. So what either had you crying, laughing, or questioning everything this week, which might be about the same situation, or a I can't make this up moment?
I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, that. Yes, tell them.
Which one? I don't know if I told you.
Oh, I was thinking Oliver. Can't make this up moment, and I was like,
I'm putting the kids in bed. I'm home. I got home late and I'm like so excited. Gave them their baths, putting them in bed. Well, I noticed that my mother in law's ashes from when she died are under Oliver's bed. And so, guys, I looked at him. I first picked it up and thought it looks like something's missing. Okay.
Like the urn, or like was it in explain a little?
Okay. So all of the kids got some of her ashes. She had 3 children, and so it was a little glass container, and it had some of the ashes, so that they all got some of the ashes. So that's what was under his bed, but it looked like some was missing, and it definitely had been open because we did put some tape over the top so that, just in case if it ever got knocked over or something, like there's no way that some could escape.
Oh, there's a way.
The drama that came out of it was everything. Deegan's like going on. He's like, there's some missing. What did you do? And Oliver's like, nothing. I didn't touch it. It's been there for a while. Well, then Deegan says, well, if you touched it, you touched a dead person. Oliver immediately breaks out in tears, dry heaving, crying, the whole 9 yards. And Deegan keeps agging it on. Harry's like, it's okay. And Oliver's like having a torrential meltdown. And I'm sitting here like, man, I've been home for an hour. I just want to have y'all put you in bed and go to bed myself. So that was kind of the spicy part.
Well, I need to know how it got in there to begin with. Like, how did he get it?
He took it. It was in Deegan's room, up high, and somehow he got it. And he took the tape off. and he opened the lid and he thought it was sand. And so he was going to pour some in his hand. But first, he put his finger in it and started doing, feeling it.
I don't know that we can post this, Andrew.
No, that was it. And then he was like,
Okay.
oh, it just feels like sand. And then he just put the lid back on and just hid it under his bed, like he hides everything under his bed. So, yeah, that's what it's like. Three boys. Three boys.
Oh, I don't know if you all know this or not, but it's my birthday week, technically. My birthday was this past Saturday from the day that we're recording, and that Thursday night before my birthday, my heat went out. And y'all, this was like the hottest week we've had thus far here in East Tennessee. And we had already had the heat, or I'm sorry, not the heat. We had already had the air conditioning go out earlier in the summer, and we had to have a
Capacitor? They both
capacitor.
start
We
with
had to have
C.
a so earlier this summer we had to have a capacitor replaced on our AC unit, and so when our air went out this time, they came out and they thought that it was the capacitor because they had had some faulty ones, but it ends up being a compressor. And so we had to wait several days to get that. So at one point, the house temperature was 88 degrees inside. It was actually hotter inside than it was outside. We ended up getting a window unit to use in our bedroom. Otherwise, your girl wouldn't have been able to sleep because I don't do heat. And then our cat, Ren, if y'all didn't know, we have a cat named Ren. She almost had like a heat stroke out in the regular house. So then we had to try to keep her confined to our bedroom. And if you've ever tried to keep a very active cat confined to one space, it was interesting. So, but we did end up getting the heat fixed. It was I keep saying heat. We did end up getting the air conditioning fixed. It was quite expensive. I may have cried, but God provides. Again, there and again, God provides.
Yeah, because
And
literally
then,
yesterday it went out again, and it turns
oh
out
yes,
there was that bad batch.
of
He
capacitors.
and capacitor what he thought the original problem was, and they fixed it for free. So that
Yeah.
day,
So
so
they
she
came.
had to wait like 3 days.
So I'm literally in my bedroom editing TikTok videos on my phone, and I keep going, "Oh, it's getting hot in here," and I go look, and the air conditioning's out again, and I was like, "Is that?"
PTS.
And then just so y'all know, like I work from home a lot of days, and very blessed for that. But also this week, my work computer, the hard drive, just decided it. But I had to go
Really
into the
far.
office.
I mean, it's like an
Yeah,
hour.
I had to go into the office. It's like an hour drive, and that really stunk. And then so they thought that they had it fixed. I brought it home yesterday. They didn't, in fact, not have it fixed. So I am gonna have to go back Monday. That's mostly been my week, you guys, and in trying to edit. I want you all to understand how much I love and how committed I am to this podcast because I had to edit the podcast to get it out to you all this past Thursday, and I was panicked because I didn't want to turn on my computer because we didn't have air conditioning, and I didn't want to break my computer because it would have gotten hot. And so I had to like wait. It was like Wednesday night, 3 a.m. I got done editing the podcast.
Wow, that's dedication. Wow. So, Ashley, what do you think God was trying to show us through all of the events this week?
Let me tell you. Well, I think truthfully for me, one of the things God is really pushing me to do is follow through. So I think in follow through not only like in everyday stuff, but I have found myself making so many excuses as to why I didn't get stuff done in the week. And I think God is trying to show me just with like having the podcast done and edited that like if you make commitments, you need to follow through with them. You need to make sure that you are doing the work to get them done if you have made the commitment to do it. So that I think is part of my lesson this week is just showing me that you can do it. You may have to sacrifice a little bit to get it done, but you can do it. And to have patience. Now, I did not pray for patience, but I think God is trying to teach me that, maybe.
I think that's what God was trying to teach me too, is I am horrible about patience. I also love to be in control of things. Like, I mean, I don't even drink or anything because I don't like losing control of my senses. So, I mean, I love a good control situation. So I do think that he was showing me that things ebb and flow, and there's hiccups, because the second go around when my flight was canceled, I mean, I became unhinged. Unhinged. And but I had learned earlier that week that it's out of my control. There's nothing I can do. So I need to just stop, calm down, hit my knees, pray for some patience and some peace, and away.
Y'all don't pay
It
for,
worked.
do not pray for patience. Don't pray for it. I'm just telling you right now. Andrea said she's going to pray for it. Don't pray for it, Andrea, because he doesn't just give it to you for free. He makes you work for it.
So, and he came through. So either way, things worked out in the end.
But I will say, you all, there's something to be said about a friendship that you can just call and go, oh my gosh, listen to what happened to me. And so Andrea and I have both had a lot of those moments this
Yeah,
week,
we've
and I
had
have enjoyed.
it's like every day.
I, I have enjoyed getting to talk to you so much. So when we have our oh my gosh moments, I love
And it's
you.
hard too because I was 3 hours away, but lo and behold, I could call and Ashley was there. Like, she's like, I am up in the heat.
It's 88 degrees. We're having a party.
And Ashley, I swear, after you told me your heat was that your air, I keep saying heat too, your air was out. My air was out in my hotel room, and I'm in Phoenix. So I did tell them though that morning, because I was like, listen, that's 76 is not gonna, I like a good 71. And so they did fix it, but I meant to text you and say, oh my gosh, I noticed my room kept getting hot. Why did I have to sleep without the sheets on? It's because my air was going out. Crazy times. But it was nice because we did get to talk to each other several times throughout the week. And we just both were just it was being handed to us. So I'm manifesting next week is just our week of just glory and goodness. Aren't you? Putting that out there. No.
Amen, Clement. So,
That's right.
um,
So if you've had a week like ours, just know you're not crazy. You're not alone. We're there with you, and God is in it with you, even in the weird in betweens.
so whether you saw him clearly or you're still waiting on him to show up, he is faithful. Sometimes you don't need a 5-step plan. You just need space to be real, reflect, and to let God do his thing.
Good.
Guys, don't forget, if you have a story that you would like to share with us for a chance to be featured on a future episode or have your story featured, please email those to we should do this podcast at gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well and get some in between encouragement and fun.
And I guess we'll see you next time on We Should Do This More Often. And honestly, Ashley, we really
We
should.
really should.